point 3 here. What's in scope and muscle memory?
Yes, definitely. I mean, once you've been given the task, and usually it's quite a large task. Say you're in a multinational organization and you have to understand, you're responsible for all the security of all the information that that organization has. Now, what type of data do they store? Where is it? Which parts of the organization are already protected? Which ones are not? Where do you start? So you have to start looking at what am I doing right now, and what is within scope of the task at hand. So if it's a matter of dealing with a breach that's already happened, the focus is going to be different. If it's something where you've got more time, you're developing a security program, you're implementing security projects, or just reviewing security in general, you may be able to set a wider scope and do a bit more work to then focus on the data that needs to be protected. So the first thing you have to do is find out where your focus is going to be, and if you start doing this on a regular basis, it does become muscle memory. So it should be something that becomes second nature. Always looking for what you need to focus on, rather than just looking at it as a big, massive task, a mountain that you need to climb. Breaking it down into smaller hills is how I sometimes describe it. So whether you're doing architectural scoping, requirement scoping, solution scoping, whether you're scoping cybersecurity or just data scoping, the process is the same. It's about focusing on what needs to be in our practice, basically, what we're going to actually work on right now, and what do we need to eliminate and stop it from distracting us. If we can do that, and if that becomes second nature, we will become a bit more efficient at dealing with the cybersecurity issues, and there'll be less mistakes made. And it's usually better to do this from a high level if you have the opportunity. So yeah, so that's muscle memory. The more you do it, the better you get at it, and it's a good habit to have. Always focusing on what is in scope and what's out of scope, then can just take a sideline. So
yeah, okay,
that's all from me. Anything else to add?
Yeah, one thing about scope is the big danger is scope creep. So part of defining scope and doing it early is to narrow the focus, and therefore, the more we're going to come to documenting scope as well in a minute, but the more you actually narrow the focus, you define scope, and that you're clear on what the scope is, then the more likely you're going to finish the project or get the job done satisfactorily. Also, by defining scope and being absolutely clear about what's in scope, it helps avoid or reduce scope creep. And if the scope does expand, then people, the management, perhaps potentially, or partners in an enterprise, will have a mechanism by which they can see where or how scope was increased. Okay, and this can give you access to more time to complete a task, or dare I say it, more budget or other resources. Maybe if you increase scope, if you want to do something more, great. But what are you going to give me to enable me to do that? So scope is actually really about managing your own control. Yeah, the muscle memory, it has to be there. You have to follow this process for it to become automated in your own head.